So the weird thing with Jeff is he's going to be 33 when he hits free agency as of this moment. So he will be a super old free agent. That said, it's a benefit to the Mets because I think they could sign him to like a 4-year extension, which isn't that much. It's not a long-term deal. That gets him to 37, 38. And then you just go from there, I think. He can't reasonably demand more than I would say like 17.5 million. I would say around there, maybe even a little bit less. He's just a proven dude, the best success story for your development team. Reward him. I mean, he's a batting champion. Let's get this done. Come on.
Amen. Jimmy, thoughts?
You're muted, Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said about Jeff. And that one point you brought up, when he is going to be a free agent, he's going to be a little bit older. And the same thing is for Pete. So Pete, he's 27 right now. So I feel like if you could extend him, it's perfect time to get one. He's not going to need a 10-year deal. I don't think Pete Alonso is going to be asking for a 10-year extension. So I think that's the perfect part of it. So I think if you give Pete Alonso, 6, even 8 years, he's here till he's 35 years old. And, we're talking about being the captain. I think you give him an 8-year extension. And like you just said, Josh, your homegrown players, you keep them here, especially when they're that good. The Yankees, I'm not sure if they're going to be bringing back Judge, but they should because he's a homegrown guy and he's important. And you bring back homegrown guys because you want to show, your prospects coming up, the Brett Beattys, that you have a chance, if you perform well, to get money, get paid, and stay here. And I think by giving Alonso and McNeil the extensions that they deserve this offseason, one would be smart financially and long-term for the Mets. And, it just shows the not only the Mets fan base, but the Mets organization as a whole that, it's a new tide in this Mets world.
Yeah. 100%, Jimmy. Like the Wilpons did not. They were very hesitant to give people like this, or give players extensions. Zach Wheeler was one of them. I guess I'm trying to think who else. There were a lot of guys and a lot of hesitancy to kind of give money to guys like that. And the Wilpons
almost lost David Wright.
They didn't do David Wright.
No, we almost lost him. They were kind of being a little cheap with him back in the old days. In his last extension, when he was younger, they were being pretty cheap with him. Even Jose Reyes, they let him walk after a couple.
Yeah, he won a batting
really
title.
Years. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not gonna be that guy. I mean, yeah, we should keep Alonso and McNeil. I mean, Alonso's our team MVP and Jeff McNeil does so much for us. And I mean, yeah, he's the best hitter on the team, just like best pure hitter, contact guy. And the reason why getting these guys wrapped up so soon is so important is because it's just good business. It's good business. It's good baseball business. I mean, you're going to look at our division rivals, the Atlanta Braves. This year alone, they gave Austin Riley an arbitration extension. He was drafted. He was a homegrown guy. Matt Olson, who they even traded for, but he got an extension. Ronald Acuna got an extension before he reached arbitration. Spencer Strider got an extension before he reached arbitration. Michael Harris, Ozzie Albies. And I'm sure Vaughn Grissom's going to get the same thing, and a bunch of Kyle Wright maybe. They're all still pre-arbitration, but I mean, they're locking down the guys they want to. I mean, even Travis d'Arnaud got an extension for 2 years. So, like, they're locking down their core. We got to do the same thing. Like, how else are you supposed to build something successful? I mean, if you don't keep those same guys around that kind of create a culture. I mean, think about the Astros. Like, they lost Correa, but they've kept Bregman and they've kept Altuve. They've kept Verlander. Who else has been there the whole time they've been winning?
Bregman. Oh, you already said that guy.
Jordan. Well, last 4 years he's been there.
Yeah.
So, like,
but they've won so many years.
These good teams are keeping the guys that help them win. And I mean, if Atlanta's doing that, They just won a World Series. They're the team to beat in the division, and they're doing that. They're doing something right. So I don't understand why we would do something different than them. And just keeping the good players, not only good players, but good people for the organization, leaders around. It can't hurt. And I'm sure once free agency gets resolved and we deal with, the DeGrom situation, the Nimmo situation, the Diaz situation, figure out our bullpen, and whether or not we want to keep the other three guys in our rotation or maybe a couple of them, because they all have options this year. Bassett, Walker, and Carrasco. It's actually crazy, the business that we got to do this year. So there's going to be a lot more shows. But, I mean, these guys, these two in the bottom, I guess, right of my screen, maybe left of yours. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to display. It's probably going to be the exact same, but keep them. Please keep them around. And
it's not even that they deserve it too. It's like, let's just get rid of like the narrative or like the stress they might have about like, oh man, I got to play for a contract in 2 years. Let's just get it out of the way. Like they've far past earned it. Get it. There's just no point. They got 2 more years of arbitration. Is it really worth paying them? Like,
yeah, just let them know, like, we want you. Let's get too cute and fuck up business shit like this all the time. And we didn't get into the DeGrom situation. We will, but we have a long history of letting great pitchers walk. But we'll get to that at a different show because it'll go on for a long time. But yeah, I mean, it's just like the guys we want, let's keep them around.